Hello everyone. Today I am going to start fourth lecture of course on basic electrical engineering. In this lecture, I am going to discuss network theorem. It provides shortcut method to solve complex network. These theorem are divided three basic law: Ohm's law, KVL and KCL. This chapter will introduce some important networks theorem, namely superposition theorem, Thevenin's theorem, Norton's theorem, and maximum power transfer theorem. Contents: network theorems, superposition theorem. The network theorems mainly help in simplification of a complex circuit having multi-loops and easy calculation of the current or voltage through a component of interest. In this lecture, we are starting with superposition theorem. The superposition theorem is a derived result of superposition principle suited to the network analysis of electrical circuit. The superposition principle, also known as superposition property, states that for all linear systems, the net response caused by two or more stimuli is the sum of the responses that would have been caused by each stimulus individually. So that if input A produces response X and input B produces response Y, then input A plus B produces response X plus Y. A function fx that satisfies the superposition principle is called a linear function. Superposition can be divided by two simpler properties: additivity and homogeneity. Additivity: if function of x1 plus x2 equal to the f function of x1 plus f function of x2. Homogeneity is a if function of x equal to the a function of x for a scalar a. Statement of superposition theorem: if a number of voltage or current source are acting simultaneously in a linear network, the resultant current in any branch is the algebraic sum of the currents that would be produced in it when each source acts alone, replacing all other independent sources by their internal resistance. Procedure of superposition theorem. Number 1, select any one source in the circuit. Next, set all other independent sources equal to 0, that is, replace all other voltages source by short circuit if internal resistance are not known. If known, then replace them by their internal resistance and all other current sources by open circuits. Third one is find out the current through or voltage across the required element due to the source under consideration. Next one is repeat the above steps for all the sources. Then next is add all the individual effects produced by individual sources to obtain total current in or voltage across the element. Application of superposition theorem. Let us understand the superposition theorem with the help of an example. The circuit diagram is shown and here consists of two voltage source V1 and V2. There are three resistance in the circuit: R1, R2 and R3. First, take the voltage source V1 alone and short circuit the V2 source as shown in the circuit figure diagram. Here R2 and R3 are in parallel. Hence, resultant is R2 into R3 divided by R2 plus R3. This resultant is the series with R1. So the equivalent resistance of the circuit R equal to R1 plus R2 into R3 divided by R2 plus R3. Here the value of net current flowing through R1 is I1 dash. So I1 dash equal to V1 divided by R, and I1 dash equal to, we can write V1 divided by R2 into R3 divided by R2 plus R3 plus R1. This current I1 dash is divided into two parallel resistance R2 and R3. So I2 dash equal to total current I1 dash into R3 divided by R2 plus R3. Similarly, I3 dash equal to total current I1 dash into R2 into R2 divided by R2 plus R3. Now activating the voltage source V2 and deactivating the voltage source V1 by short circuiting it. Find the various currents, that is I1 double dash, I2 double dash and I3 double dash following in the circuit diagram. Here I2 double dash is the net current that divided into two parallel resistors R1 and R3. So we are getting I2 double dash. So I2 double dash equal to V2 divided by R1 into R3 by R1 plus R3 and plus R2. Then we get total current. Then calculate I1 double dash. So I1 double dash equal to I2 double dash into R3 divided by R1 plus R3. This is using current divider rule. Then similarly I3 double dash equal to I2 double dash into R1 divided by R1 plus R3. As per the superposition theorem, the value of current I1, I2, R3 is now calculated. I3 equal to I3 dash plus I3 double dash and I2 equal to I2 dash minus I2 double dash and I1 equal to I1 dash minus I2 double dash. The direction of the current should be taken care of while finding the current in the various branches. Whether it is addition or subtraction, that depends on the relative directions of individual currents. Now let's solve a problem using this theorem. Here example is given. Current passes through 6 ohm resistance using superposition theorem. Here two voltage sources are given, 6 volt and 12 volt, and two internal resistance is given, 0.5 and 1 ohm. In this figure, left hand side 0.5 and 2.5 ohm are in series, that means 3 ohm resistance, and right hand side in this figure 1 ohm and 2 ohm resistance are in parallel, so 3 ohm resistance. Okay, then solve the example. If we consider source internal resistance 0.5 ohm and The first step to solve the problem is to eliminate 12 voltage source and replace it by 1 ohm internal resistance. So where consider current is I1 dash and this current is I2 dash and this is I3 dash. Then here 1 and 2 ohm resistance are in series and these 3 ohm resistance are in parallel with 6 ohm resistance, and these 0.5 ohm and 2.5 ohm are in 3 ohm resistance and these are in series. So this current I1 dash equal to total voltage is 6, that means V1, divided by this resistance is considered R1, that means 0.5 plus 2.5, 3 ohm, and this 3 ohm into 6 ohm divided by 3 plus 6, then we get current is 1.2 ampere. Then this I1 current can be divided into two components, I2 dash and I3 dash. So calculate I2 dash using current divider rule. Here total current is I1 dash. So I1 dash into this resistance is considered R3 and this is R2. So R3 divided by R2 plus R3, then equal to I1 dash current is 1.2 into 6 divided by 6 plus 3, then we get 0.8 ampere. Similarly, find current I3 dash. Using current divider rule, total current is I1 dash into R2 divided by R2 plus R3 and 1.2, 3 divided by 3 plus 6 equal to 0.4 ampere. Then now eliminate 6 volt and replace it by 0.5 ohm internal resistance. Let us consider the current through the resistors are I1 double dash, I2 double dash and I3 double dash respectively in this figure. So similarly, find the total resistance of the circuit. 0.5 and 2.5 are in series. So this total resistance is 3 ohm. These 3 ohm and 6 ohm are in parallel. These resistance are in series, 2 ohm and 1 ohm resistance. Okay. Then find the I2 double dash. I2 double dash equal to voltage is V2 divided by, this is considered R1 and this is R3 and these total resistance are considered R2. So R1 into R3 divided by R1 plus R3 plus this is R2 equal to 12 by 3 into 6 divided by 3 plus 6 plus 3 equal to 2.4 ampere. Similarly, calculate I1 double dash using current divider rule. I2 double dash total current into R3 divided by R1 plus R3. So 2.4, 6 by 3 plus 6. So we get 1.6 ampere. Next, I3 double dash equal to I2 double dash into R1 divided by R1 plus R3. So equal to 2.4 into 3 by 6 plus 3 equal to 0.8 ampere. From the above value, it is clear that as I2 from figure 7, current passes through 6 ohm resistance. That means I3 dash and I3 double dash are same direction. That means total current is equal to 0.4 plus 0.8 equal to 1.2 ampere. And another current I2 I2 is I2 dash and I2 double dash is opposite direction, then this current is considered 0.8 minus 2.4 equal to minus 1.6 ampere. Another current is I1. I1 equal to I1 dash minus I1 double dash, because these two current are opposite direction. Then this resultant current is minus 0.4 ampere. So from these values, it is clear that as I2 is negative, so the direction of I2 is along I2 double dash, and that of for I1 is along I1 double dash, because here I1 is also negative value. The resultant current along with its direction are shown in figure 7. Fifth lecture is coming soon on Thevenin's theorem. Please follow the lecture. Thank you.